When an invasion from Brainiac tests the ties of Clark Kent's own familial bonds, it'll be up to the Man of Steel to dig deep and think outside the box if he ever hopes to overcome this brand new threat. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Action Comics issue number 1046, the big kickoff to Joshua Williamson's Superman line event, House of Brainiac. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into it and find out together, shall we? So then, as we start things off, we actually check on in with the man of the hour himself, Brainiac. In his internal monologue, he talks about being one of the most intelligent beings in all of existence. Yet, despite being so incredibly smart, there are still some things in this universe that elude him. Some secrets he has yet to crack, and that is why he has come to Earth today. Perhaps maybe now he will finally learn why children love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. From there, we transition on over to Lois Lane, who is overjoyed because today just so happens to be one of her only days off ever. And she positively plans to live life to the fullest for the next 24 hours. What follows is an actually really great day in the life of Lois as we see her jog all across Metropolis. But more than anything, I think what these panels really do is an excellent job explaining who is in the current Superman cast of characters and what exactly they've been up to for the last little bit. There's old faces like Supergirl and Superboy, as well as the Irons family. We also have the brand new Super Twins, Otho and Also. Hell, things have been going so good for Superman, he's actually started letting in some villains who have been trying their hardest to actually redeem themselves as of recently, like the Parasite Rudy Jones, John Corbin Metallo, Livewire, who is actually currently working at the paper while serving her own sentence thanks to Lois, and naturally Lex Luthor himself, who, as we learn in this issue, has actually been doing so good with his work with Superman, he's actually been allowed a bit of a work release thanks to Supercorp. Now, Superman eventually meets Lois in the park. They're having a double date today with Jimmy, as well as his new girlfriend Siobhan, aka the Banshee. Yeah, it really looks like one of those special kind of days where nothing could ever possibly go wrong, which naturally means something ends up going horribly wrong as Brainiac ends up launching a massive attack against the city. There's the standard grab bag of Brainiac drones, but you may notice this attack has something a little different going on, and that the robots are actually backed up by Zarnians. As in the same race of aliens Lobo the bounty hunter is a part of. Yeah, it seems that Brainiac had actually stolen away a bottle city of Zarnia, and is now letting some of the people out in exchange for acting as his own personal shock troopers. It's Kara the Supergirl who is the first to realize that this whole Brainiac plan is actually a lot different than his regular modus operandi. Normally, he's very precise, very mechanical. He swoops in, steals information, or bottles a city, and then he's gone. But this new attack using Zarnians, this is just pure chaos from top to bottom. Now, back over at Supercorp, Mercy Graves is trying to rally the troops and do everything they can to not only protect the building, but protect the citizens of Metropolis as well. And because this is a Superman story, naturally everyone has to ask, hey Lex, are you behind this in any way, shape, or form? It's just usually when bad stuff happens, you're behind this, which Lex is very insulted by. Only, wait a minute, are you ready for a huge twist? Remember that AI Lex Jor-El hybrid who's been helping Superman run Supercorp since all of this began, LL01? Everyone assumed that LL was built to kind of mock Superman, but also help anyone with really difficult questions thanks to his vast knowledge banks. Well, here's the twist. Lex never actually built this thing. From day one, LL01 was actually a Brainiac plant who's been sitting here, and oh my god, that is some genius long-term storytelling. I want to go back and see that if LL said anything that showed his hand. Through LL, Brainiac says that his newest quest on Earth is different. In the past, he's come looking for knowledge, but now he's looking for power, specifically the power at the heart of Superman and this city where so many superpowered people live. He also plans to use his army to kidnap the smartest person in the city. Obviously, Luthor assumes that the smartest person in the city has to be himself, but in reality, it's his daughter, Lena. Luthor is only able to escape the Zarnian hordes by making use of his brand new battle armor, which is actually this kind of cool holographic hard light construct. All I can say is, geez, Lex, don't let Hal or the Green Lantern see you using that, or they will sue you for copyright infringement. All across the city, Superman and his people put up a valiant battle, but one by one, they all end up getting bottled by Brainiac's forces. At first, it just seems like they're after Superman's immediate family, but eventually that circle ends up expanding out to anyone he's had dealing with superpowers, meaning the Parasite, Livewire, and even Banshee herself end up all getting bottled away. By the end, Superman himself is one of the only people left standing when he comes face to face with the Zarnians' field leader, a massive mountain of a man named General Chakal. Get it? As in jackal, like Lobo means wolf. Speaking of Lobo, Chakal had heard all sorts of tales of the last last son of Krypton, how he was so strong he was even able to survive multiple battles with another Zarnian, who is, you guessed it, a distant relative of his. Chakal says that Lobo must be really weak if he lost so many fights to Superman because, well, they conquered the entire city in one day, so he's not really impressed. Of course, Superman was only playing possum, pretending to be weak just long enough for Chakal to give away that Brainiac's ship hasn't left the atmosphere yet. Superman would have been bottled too if Lex didn't swoop on in and heroically end up taking the shot for him. Luthor, realizing full well that Superman is the only person who can save all the kidnapped people, including his own daughter. Clark sadly has very little to go on right now. He's fully been taken by surprise, and the only thing he can think of, the only person who might have a lead on these rogue Zarnians is, you guessed it, Lobo himself. But what of Brainiac? What the hell could he possibly have planned for the Man of Steel? Why did he kidnap all of his friends and family? Well, we don't know, but as the comic comes to an end, we see that Brainiac isn't working alone. It would seem that Prime Earth Brainiac is actually being assisted by a whole legion of multiversal Brainiacs, including the animated series Brainiac, Brainiac 13, Vildrox Brainiac. Hell, I'm pretty sure the Super Friends Brainiac is in there too, and also what an amazing page to leave on. And so that was Action Comics number 1064, everyone, and overall I thought this was a pretty damn awesome way to kick off a brand new event, not just because, you know, they had a bunch of cool fight scenes and really upped the stakes by having Brainiac come at Superman in a completely different way than we're used to. No, what I think really sold this issue for me is how Joshua Williamson really went out of his way to showcase what a good place Superman is in right now, and by extension how much he actually stands to lose should things turn pear-shaped on this one. I've said it before, but it also bears repeating. The Joshua Williamson era on Superman really has this big theme of family going on. Superman's family is bigger than it's ever been. Lex Luthor has been dealing with the return of his daughter and all those complicated feelings. And now we have the House of Brainiac made up of a bunch of different Brainiacs from across the multiverse. I kind of get the feeling that Brainiac himself is also feeling in a family way at the moment. Overall, I'd give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Great stuff.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.